Go fuck yourself, Kyle Rittenhouse, you cowardly little piece of shit. Your days are numbered, motherfucker. Don't you forget it. Karma's gonna catch up to you, and when it does, it's gonna be ugly. But not as ugly as you.
People are still really, really, really mad at Kyle.
It's literally been, what, 4 years? The fuck? What is wrong with these guys?
They think he got away with killing black people.
So they're stupid.
Yes. Well, what's hilarious is, like, I just saw a clip the other day from some kind of panel discussion on YouTube where it's all blacks, and this lady, this one black chick said, repeated the lie that he shot 3 black people in the back, is what she said. And suffered no consequences for it, and no one on the panel checked her. At least not in the clip that I saw. I think one person in the clip that I saw, actually, one person checked her. Said, no, that's not what happened. Like, but everybody...
They think he killed 3 black people.
Yeah, no, he killed 2 whites and a Jew. Or he killed a white, a Jew, and shot a second white.
Like, that entire situation, right? Like, there was one black guy that was trying to get at Kyle, but he didn't get shot.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Like, what fucking reality are these people in?
A reality where they constantly see threats around every corner, and they constantly think that white people are out to get them. But, Kyle, obviously, I follow him on X, and he shared that out, that he still gets messages like that to this day,
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, that people are still threatening his life. Your days are numbered, motherfucker. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. You sound real threatening. But yeah.
Sure, bro.
Now, and the reason why I thought that was pertinent was because, DNI Tulsi Gabbard declassified the Biden administration's secret plan to, according to this, eliminate the Second Amendment in the name of counterterrorism. This is page 14 of an entire document of things that this never got released, and as far as I know, they never implemented any of this publicly. But the Biden administration had a plan.
Holy shit! The fact that they tried, though.
This was in the name of countering domestic terrorism. One of the things they intended to do was to
no worries. Just get rid of the entire fucking Second Amendment, and then these people have the goal to fucking say that, the God Emperor treats Constitution like toilet paper. It's like,
Pillar 4: confront long-term contributors to domestic terrorism. And then down here, action 4.1.1a. Rein in the proliferation of quote-unquote ghost guns, encourage state adoption of extreme risk protection orders, and drive other executive and legislative action, including banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
Holy shit.
Yeah, a direct attack on the Second Amendment. Simple as.
Yep.
Encourage state adoption of extreme risk protection orders. It's essentially red flag laws. So if the local cops of the state decide you're a threat, they just come take your guns.
That doesn't sound fucked at all. Jesus.
No, but
Okay.
they wanted to do this stuff. You know, people say that we're crazy. People say that nobody's coming to take your guns, bro. Literally, yes, they are coming to try to take our guns.
hmm
It just so happens that every time they seriously try, they always like stop short. They get cold feet, which is good. You know, that kind of means the Second Amendment is working, at least to some degree.
Mm.
But yeah, anyway, what Tulsi said, as promised, I have declassified the Biden administration's strategic implementation plan for countering domestic terrorism. And I skimmed through this, like I read this whole thing. Not the whole thing, I skimmed through it. Like I read like the first couple pages, and it was very dry and very government documenty, you know. And then I was just like, well, you know, the important part is on page 14, so I'll just cover that. Not good. Very not good.
Very not good.
Very not good. But no, you know, they're doing what they said they were going to do. They're declassifying a bunch of shit. We still haven't got, you know, any meaningful new stuff involving Epstein. But, you know, we got the JFK files and we got other things. So, like, you know, we got this. Will we ever get the Epstein files? Who knows? Which Pam Bondi straight up said a few weeks ago. Not all of it. You're not going to get all of it. A lot of it is national security concerns. So she straight up said a few weeks ago that we're not going to get all the Epstein files. The problem
Which is disappointing.
And the problem with that is no matter what Epstein files they give us, because we know we didn't get them all, a lot of people are just going to completely disregard the ones we do get. If we get any at all. Oh, apparently Cash at one point, I can't remember, he was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and I saw him say that he intends to have the 9/11 files declassified also.
Ooh. That is going to be spicy.
Well, just like the JFK files, when the 9/11 files come out and there's nothing in it that confirms Israel's involvement in 9/11, like the anti-Israel people already like made up their minds that if the 9/11
they're going to be like, oh, no, it's definitely Israel.
Yeah, if the 9/11 files come out and there's either nothing in it that points the finger at Israel, or the evidence in it directly says like, no, Israel didn't do this, like. Or imagine if the files come out and it confirms that we got, you know, it confirms that like Israeli intelligence was the one who found out about the 9/11 first and tried to warn us, and we ignored them. Like they will, which is what I think happened. But
it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing with what's it called? With the Epstein files at the moment.
Yeah, they're not going to be
taken because there's not going to be anything confirming, you know, things that they already like. It's going to be like, oh, it was taken out because the Jews or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've read a shitload of the JFK files. Not all of them, because there's like tens of thousands of pages of the JFK files, and I don't have the time or the energy to read them all, but I've read a lot of them. And Israel's mentioned very few times, and in no context that I've seen Israel mentioned in the JFK files in any way implicates them as being involved in the assassination. The JFK files pretty firmly point the finger at the KGB, like, but everybody suddenly wants to believe that like the USSR wasn't as bad as people think it was, and that we were propagandized into hating them. And oh wow, it just sounds like you guys are getting propagandized into accepting communism.
It sounds like everyone's been psyoped to thinking, oh, US bad, and therefore everything that confirms that, oh, maybe US not that bad is automatically like rejected by their heads.
Well, yeah, they definitely want to believe that we are the great Satan, as the Muslims like to call us. Um, but yeah, no, like recently, I don't have anything pulled up for it, but like just recently, Matt Walsh put out a thing talking about how like moon landing denial is just anti-Americanism. Um, that's couched in just asking questions. It's just like it's one of the last great times, one of the last times within the last century that Americans across all political persuasions were all united in, kind of wonder and amazement that we managed to pull off this amazing like thing. There's tons of evidence, tons of almost practically irrefutable evidence that we definitely went to the moon. But now like the moon landing is and space itself is all coming under attack, and he thinks this is all just anti-Americanism that's just dressed up in this way, trying to like take the piss. And then Candace came out recently with her take on it, and
Uh,
he called and she called the moon landing fake and gay, that space is fake, the moon landing never happened, and that Matt Walsh.
wait. Space is fake. Ah.
Yep, space is fake and gay. She said that space is fake and gay. The moon landing. Here's the thing: in this video, a lot of people think she was just kind of taking the piss because in this video she said fake and gay like 10 times. But I don't think she's taking the piss. I think she was serious. But she thinks that the moon landing's fake. She has gotten to moon landing not real. Oh, she also claims that NASA and the Apollo missions were actually a satanic occult ritual that was designed to like glorify the Antichrist or something like that. I know, she's so fucking retarded, dude. She's so dumb. Let me let me walk that back a bit. I actually don't think she's dumb. I think she's a narcissist. I don't think she believes half the shit she says. I think she just knows what stirs the pot and she wants attention.
Well, whatever it is, like she just fully fell off. Like this is fucking full retard territory.
Oh shit, I just realized I don't have our avatars up.
No,
Oops.
but yeah, this is full retard territory. And as a the wisdom of what's his name, Kirk Lazarus from Tropic Thunder, you never go full retard,
You never go full retard.
man.
Full skunk. Low IQ. Not full retard. No, it's like it's the fact that she comes out, she's all like, Matt Walsh, I will never take any. Now, again, she could just be taking the piss, whatever, but she's like, I'll never take anything Matt Walsh says seriously again until he admits that the moon landing was fake and gay. And it's
That's
just,
retarded.
yeah,
That
it
is
is.
just retarded, bro.
It is.
Oh
And
my lord.
I just want to remind everybody that less than 2 years ago, this woman was being paid by the Jews to try to destroy Steven Crowder. And she had been paid by Jewish people and Zionist organizations her entire career until about a year ago. So, and then, she suddenly changes her tune. Just funny how that works. But no, I'm sure Nuxanor will cover the her moon landing.
More shit like this. Fuck me,
Yes.
dude. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Like, look, I remember when I used to say that. Oh, dude, I don't like. I still have like some reservations about her. Like, yeah, she's doing good work and all that, but she rubs me the wrong way.
Yes.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
hate it.
I
I hate
defended
the
her.
fact
Yeah.
that I hate the fact that I'm fucking pretty much fully vindicated at this point.
Yeah, and I defended her, so I look like an idiot.
No, because I wanted her to be, to be actually a good person, but no, this is.
A lot of people think, and I don't know how. I don't. This is getting a little conspiracy pilled for me. But a lot of people think that like her British husband has like psyoped her into a lot of this because like he's friends with Tate, and it seems like he took a lot of that Hustlers University, mentally manipulate the woman and make her fall in love with you kind of thing. Because like the famous, and she admits this by the way, that that the famous story is they met, and before they met in person, they were engaged. Like they had met, and then a few weeks later they were engaged, and then she, and he is one of the like him and the Tates grew up together. So, and he is a fucking, anti-Zionist and an anti-Jew person, and he seems to be just like a fucking British psycho. And she's kind of get like he's
Huh.
and after she married him, that's whenever her opinion on a lot of things started to change, because she used to be very pro-Israel and very anti-Palestine, as Nuxenor pointed out in his takedown. Like she used to be, and then all of a sudden, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, she starts doing 180s on things. And now this is consistent with her. She's been doing 180s on things her entire career. But again, again, she's worked for Zionist organizations her entire career. She's been cashing Jewish blood money checks her entire career, and then she marries this British anti-Semite. And suddenly, well, I don't want to say that about him. I don't know if he's actually properly anti-Semitic, but I'm just saying, she marries this British dude who's associated with the Tates, and then suddenly she starts doing a 180 on. Oh, I mean, literally, she's sitting across from Tristan Tate, a literal pornographer, claiming that the Jews invented porn to destroy Christianity. Like, bitch, you are sitting having a friendly conversation with a literal Gentile pornographer. Like, she's retarded. She's a genuinely stupid person.
Yeah, I.
Press F, boys, because 4chan's gone.
Well, did you hear about how stupid this entire thing was?
I mean, I don't have the full details, but I've got this Ars Technica, article pulled up. We're gonna go through, so I'm sure that'll lay it down. But what?
Okay.
Like, walk me through it, and then we'll read the article.
They were still using like SQL, and the reason SQL commands, and the reason the way that the Soyjack party got in was through PHP packets.
Jesus Christ!
Like, I'm like, dude, okay, this is shit from like the mid 2000s. Bro, what are you doing?
What's the fucking 4chan the 4chan leader guy's name? What was his name again?
Oh, Moot.
Moot. I keep wanting to say it's Null, but Null is the leader of Kiwi Farms, I think. But yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
just
it sounds like no one's up there. From what someone told me, they haven't updated the security protocols for like a decade, and I'm like, huh, what happened 10 years ago when Moot sold out? Fucking Gamergate.
Yeah. Literally 10 years ago, 2015. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Moot sold out a little bit before then, but yeah, like when he fell in with like the venture capitalist crowd. But yeah, like so basically the time that the moment the guy that started the whole thing left, it just fell to shit. Like the last great hurrah of 4chan is probably the 2016 election.
Yeah, probably. Well, and this reminds me. I want to say it was 2017, 18. 4chan got hacked. It didn't get taken down, but it got hacked, and a bunch of the members, email addresses got leaked, right? And a bunch of people traced it and found out there were lawyers and doctors and all kinds of people were posting on 4chan.
Yep.
And I get into an argument with this one cunt who's trying to tell me that these people on the internet, they're not. It's you internet people. You're not the majority. I'm like, I didn't say I don't think we're a majority. I think we're a large chunk of the population, larger than you think it is. He's all like, no, you guys are the fringe of the fringe. And I'm like, dude, the 4chan email leaks. There are doctors and fucking lawyers and government officials and shit like that, that use 4chan. Regular, seemingly normie people. He's like, doesn't matter. You're the fringe of the fringe. And I'm just like, oh, fuck off.
Well, now with this one, I'm not sure if this goes in, right? But You know what they found out? A lot of the Jannies
Yeah.
are feds.
No.
I'm not sure whether the article you pulled up has it, but yeah, like
Yeah, there's a lot of
uh
.gov email addresses used for
yep,
accounts.
like I mean, okay, like we knew
Yeah,
this,
we talked about this. Yeah,
but
years ago, we talked about how the 4chan has been infiltrated by the feds.
yep,
4chan glows all of a sudden. There's this particular glow coming off 4chan these days.
yep, and then it's like ah
Vindication.
okay. It's like vindication. Yes, yes, exactly. It's like
Feels good,
it's so
man.
sweet. Feels good, man.
Feels good.
Feels good.
.jpeg. Feels good, man. .jpeg.
Yep.
But anyway, Ars Technica. 4chan has been down since Monday night after pretty comprehensive own. Infamous internet image board and wretched hive of scum and villainy 4chan was apparently hacked at some point Monday
Oh,
evening and remains.
this isn't biased at all.
Well, wretched hive of scum and villainy is a Star Wars reference. So,
Yeah, I know, but still, but do you think this retard will ever fucking say that about Reddit?
probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. His name is Andrew
Uh,
Cunningham, by the way, the guy that wrote this.
yeah, but still, I don't give a shit what his fucking ethnicity is. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, sure, mate, sure, mate.
But it was apparently hacked at some point Monday evening and remains mostly unreachable as of this writing. Down detectors showed
Mm-hmm.
reports of outages spiking at about 10:07 p.m. Eastern on Monday, and they've remained elevated since. Posters at Soyjack Party, a rival image board that began as a 4chan offshoot, claimed responsibility for the hack. But with all posts on these intensely insular boards, it's difficult to separate fact from fiction. The thread shows screenshots of what appears to be 4chan's PHP admin interface, among other screenshots that suggest extensive access to 4chan's database of
See,
hosts and users.
it's fucking PHP. Like, dude.
Security researcher Kevin Beaumont described the hack as a pretty comprehensive own that included SQL database source and shell
See,
access.
bro, SQL. Shit, man, that's the kind of thing that I fucking used writing bots in IRC, like in like in 2007. What the fuck,
404
bro?
Media reports that the site used an outdated version of PHP that could have been used to gain access, including the PHP MyAdmin
Uh,
tool, a common attack vector that is frequently patched for security vulnerabilities. Ars staffers pointed to the presence of long deprecated and removed functions like mysql underscore real underscore escape underscore string
yep.
in the screenshots as possible signs of an old unpatched PHP version.
Fucking hell, that's so bad.
The FBI went to
Uh,
Moot and said, "Hey, don't ever update the security protocols in case we need to shut it down."
yep. That sounds like something they would do, to be honest.
In other words, there's a possibility that the hackers have gained pretty deep access to all of 4chan's data, including site source code and user data. Some widely shared posts on social media sites have made as yet unsubstantiated claims about data leaks from the outage, including the presence of users' real names, IP addresses, and .edu and .gov email addresses used for registration.
So
Without
it does go. Yeah, okay.
without knowing more about the extent of the hack, reports of the site's ultimate death are probably also premature. Yeah, I mean it could come back.
Nah, well, someone posted a list of the emails that were that were taken
Yep.
from the hack, and I don't know if you've gone through them, but like 90% of the email addresses are like are joke names, but there are yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Look at
it.
this staff pics. Fucking
Yeah, Ars Technica is not it's not friendly to our cause. But yeah, Pools closed. 4chan hadn't been an effective containment for a long time, not since Trump. The poll incels are now TV talking heads, media personalities, and the goddamn vice president. Some absolute.
Based.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. JD Vance used to post on 4chan. You think that makes him look bad?
No, it makes everyone else love him more. The nigga posted fucking memes of himself looking like an absolute shitlord. Like, what do you think? The guy does not give a fuck, man. Like, finally, Palpy, our generation is in power. Yes!
Yep. JD
Yes!
Vance and I are the same age. Like, he's a few months older than me. He's like 6 months older than me. That's too dead on to be satirized. Check this out. Some absolute fuck who identifies as cat turd has the ear of the White House. It's too dead on to be satirized. Worse yet, it's the second waivers who actually believe the garbage instead of ironic edgelords. Like, yeah, these people are fucking salty.
What, does he actually think that the ironic edgelords fucking left and don't believe the same shit? No.
It's also like
this guy is so fucking out of touch, bro.
Like, exactly. Well, I mean, and then JD Vance, like, even if JD Vance, whether or not he ever actually posted on 4chan or if he was just a lurker or whatever, he's the right age, to have been aware of 4chan, and possibly even used it, posted or lurked on it. But, like, Cat Turd is a Gen Xer. Like, Cat Turd's like an old man. So, and again, Gen Xers used 4chan. I'm not saying that they didn't. But, like, he's automatically assuming that Cat Turd was like a poltard, and I don't think he necessarily was. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't. Cat Turd has the general boomer Gen X fucking politics to be a poltard.
Well, no, Cat Turd's closer to us and politically than I think people give him credit for. Like, I think people are too hard on Cat Turd. I like Cat Turd a lot.
Okay. No, I don't mind him. I just think that he's pretty generic, like Gen X boomer tard kind of thing. Well, maybe not boomer tard, maybe like late Gen X.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's definitely a Gen Xer, but he's a Gen X MAGA chud. So, like, take that for what it is. But speaking of, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg. I guess he's probably counts as a millennial, but Mark Zuckerberg is not having doesn't seem to be having a very good time. His rebranding as like a cool guy.
What did he do now?
Well, he got called up for a antitrust trial. He had to testify.
Oh, okay.
And we'll get
because
into
that's not what I heard about the thing with Mark Zuckerberg.
What did you hear about?
Like, well, there was this director of a global something, I can't remember, but a former employee at Facebook who blew the whistle.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that I heard about, where it's like, oh, okay, so again, vindication, right? Like, like.
Yeah, and like his like rebranding as like, dude, I do jujitsu and I like barbecue sauce you could buy at Walmart, and I actually love free speech, dog. Like, I'm totally just one of you guys, Pepe. What, like, it's backfired on him. Nobody takes him seriously. Like, yeah, and then he gets called up in this antitrust thing. But anyway, shout out to the Associated Press. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg took to the witness stand on the first day of a historic antitrust trial to defend his company against allegations it illegally monopolized the social media market. The trial could force the tech giant to break off Instagram and WhatsApp, startups Meta bought more than a decade ago that have since grown into social media powerhouses. FTC attorney Daniel Matheson called Zuckerberg as the first witness, and it seeks to prove that Meta acquired Instagram and WhatsApp to preserve its monopoly in the social media networking space. At the trial, Matheson focused on a communication sent to colleagues that illustrated Zuckerberg's frustration with a lack of progress on developing a photo sharing app to compete with Instagram's. Quote, "The way I read this message is that I'm not happy about how we're executing on that project," Zuckerberg said. Matheson followed up by asking if that was because of Instagram's rapid growth. Quote, "That does seem to be what I'm highlighting," Zuckerberg said, adding that he's always urging his team to do better. Later in the day, Zuckerberg appeared frustrated when Matheson asked him about his concerns expressed about how fast Instagram was growing. I mean, so we'll carry on, but like it's just I'm of two minds in the whole thing. Like if you can grow a company to this size, you probably deserve to keep everything you've gained. And he doesn't have a full on monopoly because he doesn't own TikTok, which is as big as Facebook. Uh, he doesn't own X, which is as big as Meta. It's just that Meta has, they have Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. But like, these aren't the only apps that people are using. He does have competition. X is probably his stiffest competition right now. Like, so does Meta need to be broken up? I don't know. I kind of buck a little bit anytime the government starts breaking up people's companies.
Yeah. Also, I'm retarded. I've been replying to you for like the past 3 minutes and forgot I flipped my mic up.
Retard.
Um, yes. But like as I was saying, like I don't think the whole antitrust thing is really the main purpose here. It's like I would have liked more focus on the fact that yeah, like there seems to be strong evidence that Zuckerberg, if not condoning it, if not like actively participating in it, then at least condoning the fact that the Chinese are that they're helping the Chinese.
Yeah, well, that would be a separate trial altogether.
I know, but like I want more focus on that. Like, is that yeah? I just want more focus on that as opposed to like you know.
It probably is a more important story.
Hmm.
I will concede. You know, China is always, mucking around doing shit.
Hmm.
And we got a China story queued up, but it's got nothing to do with Facebook or Meta. But quote, I don't have the full timeline of Instagram's development in my head, Zuckerberg said when Matheson asked him about his mention of its growth. You could probably get that better from somebody else. Matheson also asked about comments of plans to keep Instagram running while focusing on Facebook and not investing in Instagram. Zuckerberg said he wouldn't characterize it as a plan, and he insisted that Instagram wasn't neglected. Quote, in practice, we ended up investing a ton in it after we acquired it, Zuckerberg, who testified most of the afternoon, said. In opening statements, Matheson said Meta has used its position to generate enormous profits even as its consumer satisfaction has dropped. He said Meta was erecting a moat to protect itself or to protect its interests by buying the two startups.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't see what the problem with that is.
Well, that's the thing. He wanted to. So here's the thing. I don't understand. Is like we need a photo sharing app. Did nobody? Because Meta wasn't a thing at the time. It was still just called Facebook, but the parent company. But like, did nobody at the Facebook board go, "Sir, why do we need a photo sharing app? Facebook already does that.
Hmm.
You can share photos on Facebook." Nobody uses Facebook anymore. I don't use Facebook anymore. I mean, I know you still use it to like buy cars and shit, but like, it's the boomer.
Yeah, I'm literally that's literally me doing that right now.
It's the boomer social media account at this
It
point.
is.
It's the thing that the
Yeah.
boomers use.
And the
All
only
the
thing that I see on Facebook, like apart from yeah, as I said, like from like looking at cars and buying shit there, is people hating on cyclists,
yeah,
which to be fair, justified. Um,
yeah. But no, all the kids use Instagram, X, and TikTok nowadays.
and
Like,
Snapchat
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Well, no, Snapchat is more for predators actually.
yeah.
Not
Predator.
necessarily, not necessarily like going after minors, but just yeah, douchebags. Like
Predators and
the
fucking
disappearing messages shit.
yeah, predators and fucking porno thoughts. OF
So Andrew
thoughts.
Tate.
Yeah. In opening statements, Matheson said Meta had used its position to generate enormous profits, even as. Oh, I already read that part. My bad. Mark Hansen, an attorney for Meta, said the FTC was making a grab bag of arguments that were wrong. He said Meta has plenty of competition and has made improvements to the startups it acquired. Quote, this lawsuit in summary is misguided, Hansen said, adding, any way you look at it, consumers have been the big winners. I'd actually say that's fairly true. Because in the decades since Facebook acquired Instagram, Instagram has got bigger and more streamlined. They've clearly invested time and money into it. Like,
No, and he's right about saying that it's he's right in saying that the public won out in the sense that like there's more choices because of the competition between Instagram and all these other social media places.
Yep.
Like
And
not that I like social media to begin with, but I mean Discord is technically social media.
yeah, technically.
So I don't know. Like I generally agree with this argument that the that Meta's lawyer is making. And but as I said, like my main concern is the whole like what the fuck are you doing with China thing? Because then that could be a I don't know, like you could probably I might be stretching a bit, but I can see a situation where you can say that because everyone is linked to China, like that's an antitrust thing for all of them. TikTok and
Yeah.
Meta and yeah, Google. Because at the end
Yep.
of the day, they're all they're all going for one. They're all going for one outcome. So
Quote, this lawsuit in summary is misguided, Hansen said, adding, any way you look at it, the consumers have been the big winners. I think I already read that part. Anyway, my bad. The trial will be the first big test of President Donald Trump's Federal Trade Commission's ability to challenge big tech. The lawsuit was filed against Meta, then called Facebook, in 2020 during Trump's first term. It claims the company bought Instagram and WhatsApp to squash competition and establish an illegal monopoly in the social media market. Which, even if that was the goal, which they'll never be able to prove definitively that it was, but even if that was the goal, it failed because he still had to compete with X and TikTok and Snapchat and you know all these
we're
other.
talking like we're talking in time sinks, and Discord as well counts.
Yeah, I mean, I have Discord on my phone, so
Yep.
the Meta, the FTC argues, has maintained a monopoly by pursuing Zuckerberg's strategy expressed in 2008. It is better to buy than compete. True to that maxim, Facebook has systemically tracked potential rivals and acquired companies that it viewed as serious competitive threats. What the hell's his name? Bill Gates did something similar.
Mm.
Rather than compete with people, they just buy them out young, and then if they had good technology, they would just kind of absorb it under the
Just
Microsoft
incorporate
banner.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then if it, they did that with what was it? I don't remember. It was so long ago since they broke up Microsoft.
Uh,
Facebook also enacted policies designed to make it difficult for smaller rivals to enter the market and, quote, neutralize perceived competitive threats, the FTC says in its complaint, just as the world shifted its attention to mobile devices from desktop computers. Facebook bought Instagram, then a scrappy photo sharing app with no ads and a small cult following in 2012. The $1 billion cash and stock purchase price was eye-popping at the time, though the deal's value fell to $750 million after Facebook's stock price dipped following the initial public offering in May 2012.
mm.
Instagram was the first company Facebook bought and kept running as a separate app. Up until then, Facebook was known for smaller acquihires. It's like a combination of acquire and hire, a type of popular Silicon Valley deal in which a company purchases a startup as a way to hire its talented workers, then shuts the acquired company down. 2 years later, it
Mm.
did it again with the messaging app WhatsApp, which it purchased for $22 billion. WhatsApp and Instagram helped Facebook move its business from desktop computers to mobile devices and to remain popular with younger generations as rivals like Snapchat, which it also tried and failed to buy, and TikTok emerged. However, the FTC has a narrow definition of Meta's competitive market, excluding companies like TikTok, YouTube, and Apple's messaging service from being considered rivals to Instagram and WhatsApp.
I mean,
That's
it's not like TikTok. Maybe comparable. Yeah, maybe TikTok's comparable to Instagram, but I don't know whether YouTube would count. I mean,
no,
recently I can see why because of the shorts thing,
yeah,
But Apple's messaging service is a thing to WhatsApp. Like I don't think so. Because Apple's thing is a bit. I mean, I have an iPhone, and it it doesn't have the same functionality as fucking WhatsApp does. Because WhatsApp works across across devices. Like Apple's messaging service only works between iPhones.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to
Like
say.
so,
That you can get WhatsApp anywhere.
yeah. So I don't know whether I would consider it like a one-to-one thing. But yeah, you like as I said, YouTube at that point in time wasn't as big on short, so I wouldn't like that's not yeah, like I don't think it's part of the FTC was correct in that. Because yeah, like but TikTok definitely like I don't know what the hell they were doing because TikTok is definitely similar to Instagram.
Yeah, except um, it's similar, but it's different in the sense that pictures, still images are still kind of, although Instagram has kind of moved into a short form video platform at this point, but like it was always like
But
TikTok was for
Instagram was kind of like short form video as well, wasn't it?
well, no,
For a long time.
it was originally a photo sharing app.
Was it? Oh, well, shows
Yeah,
what I fucking know.
Instagram was originally a photo sharing app. Yeah, it was,
Hmm.
but they kind of.
Oh right, yeah. That because yeah, you're right. It just
I
clicked because like that's where people fucking uh it was mostly women with fucking their arts and crafts projects selling on Etsy and shit.
Yeah, and I can't remember when Instagram Reels became a thing, but Instagram Reels became a thing as a kind of like a direct. I would say, at least from my perspective, from when TikTok blew up, became a thing, and then Instagram Reels became a thing, and then YouTube Shorts became a thing.
Mm.
So this seems like to me that Instagram was, the Instagram started doing short form videos similar to TikTok.
Yeah, after TikTok, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's fair to say that TikTok is a competitor to Instagram. I don't think
Mm.
that's not fair at all. I think that's completely fair to say.
Yeah, especially
Evidence,
because it was the same market that they were after.
yeah, kids with no fucking attention span.
Yeah, or women who are selling shit, right? Like
Remember Vine?
yeah, yeah, that was Twitter's thing, wasn't it? They just completely abandoned it though. Like
I don't
that's
think
Jack
Twitter.
Dorsey's complete. Yeah, no, Vine was Twitter's. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, Vine might have been involved with Jack Dorsey, but I don't know if Vine was ever like part of Twitter. Well, and the only reason why I say
Let's
that
see.
because is that Elon kind of recently floated the idea that
Yeah,
he wants
see,
to.
founded in 2012 by Rus Yusupov, Dom Hoffman, and Colin Crow, the company was bought by Twitter Inc. 4 months later for $30 million. Like they fell off.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
like
never
Twitter
mind.
was involved like pretty much fucking from the beginning.
Well,
But
I wonder if that means that Elon now owns Vine, because I remember Elon saying
no, but
like
Vine is a uh
Vine is dead, but the IP is still technically out there, and if Elon owns Twitter, which he does,
well, I think that's what he wants. That's what he wants to do with a thing
he said
with
like
X.
a month or so ago, he said he wanted to bring back Vine. He said he thought it'd be cool to bring back Vine, and I'm once like, is he gonna buy Vine? No, apparently he already owns Vine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's under Twitter. Yeah.
Well, I think he said that around the time that TikTok was getting banned, and he figured he could jump on that market, be like, hey, no more TikTok in the United States, but guess what? Vine's back. Like,
Mm.
Meta, meanwhile, says the FTC's lawsuit defies reality. Quote, the evidence at trial will show that every 17-year-old in the world knows Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp compete with Chinese-owned TikTok, YouTube, X, iMessage, and many others. More than 10 years after the FTC reviewed and cleared out acquisitions, the Commission's actions in this case send the message that no deal is ever truly final. Regulators should be supporting American innovation rather than seeking to break up a great American company and further advantaging China on critical issues like AI, the company said in a statement. That's funny coming from Meta's lawyer, considering what we were just talking about.
Yep.
In a filing last week, Meta also stressed that the FTC must prove that Meta has monopoly power in its claimed relevant market now. not at some time in the past. This, experts say, could also prove challenging since more competitors have emerged in the social media space in the years since the company bought WhatsApp and Instagram. Meta's fate will be decided by U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. That's a very tribal name. No, I was actually
Stop noticing, puppy.
I was talking about this the other day. It's like, guys, the reason why a lot of Jews have Stein and Berg in their last name is because they're European. Like, do you know how many Steins and Bergs there are in Europe who aren't Jewish? Like, a lot. Like, well, I mean, having the last Stein is it's a lot of German names have Stein in the as part of the last name that are not Jewish families.
Yeah, we know. It's just funny.
It is hilarious.
Stop
But
noticing.
notice. Anyway, but U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, who late last year denied Meta's request for a summary judgment and ruled that the case must go to trial. While the FTC may face an uphill battle in proving its case, the stakes are high for Meta, whose advertising business could be cut in half if it's forced to spin off Instagram. Meta isn't the only technology company in the sights of the federal antitrust regulators. Google and Amazon face their own cases. The remedy phase of Google's case is scheduled to begin April 21st. A federal judge declared the search giant an illegal monopoly last August. I mean, I don't know if it's an illegal monopoly. I think it was just like, because there was multiple competitors, and it wasn't like, as far as I know, I mean, Google did, Alphabet did turn around and start buying up a lot of like companies. That's true. But like, it's not like they like Bing and DuckDuckGo and like all these other search engines is just like we're getting bought up by Google. It's just Google was competing with them directly for years, and Google just won. More people use Google. Like, Bing has been around for almost as long as Google has. Nobody uses Bing. Everybody uses Google. I mean, you can still use Bing if you want, but like,
if you want, but why? Literally, why would you?
I used to use Bing out of principle because I hated Google so much, but I just use Google now like everybody else.
沙山好中国，现在我有冰淇淋，淇淋，冰冰冰冰冰冰冰冰冰冰冰。
Bing chilling. How'd you want Bing chilling? Fucking John Sino. It's WrestleMania weekend. John Cena's competing at WrestleMania this weekend against Cody Rhodes. I'll be watching it. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a hell of a match. So, political violence has, starting to kind of get out of hand, starting to become, it's been getting out of hand since, depending on who you talk to, since before 2020, but 2020 seems to be, the St. Floyd riots is when things started to really kind of get like wacky in the realm of political violence. But it's only been getting worse, and because this eventually leads us to vigilantes like Luigi Mangione, and you think that him just executing a man in cold blood out in the streets would be something that everybody could kind of get behind as saying, no, this is just wrong. But no, people keep glorifying this asshole, keep talking about how epic he is.
Yeah, wasn't there like I'm pretty sure there was like there was a moment there when I can't remember. I think it was California or something, where I'm pretty sure it was California, but they passed, or at least they tried to pass, like a set of laws that and then the main thing they had was the main like thing they had was a what was it? Was a fuck me dead. I'm trying to think. The main promotional material, there you go, that they had was essentially a thing putting Luigi as fucking Jesus.
Yeah, we.
And did you see that?
Yeah, we covered that before.
Yeah, like there was a. Did we? Oh fuck! I
Yeah,
must have been. I
I
don't
think
know.
it was like
Anyway.
20 when we came back and did 117. I think we did that. We did that story
Mm.
where we covered the California set of like they tried to. It was one of those things where the people kind of push like potential legislation to the state, and then the state has to approve of it, and then they have to rewrite it. And yeah, the kind of like the imagery that they used. The imagery that they used was Luigi Mangione and like, but they put his head over Jesus's body, and yeah.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Yeah.
during Coachella, this year's Coachella festival, Circle Jerks, which is this old punk rock band, been around a long time. Uh, well, here it is in SF Gate. Shout out to them. Pretty sure this is like a San Francisco, um, you know, news outlet, whatever.
News
Uh,
outlet. Yeah.
or maybe not San Francisco. I don't know. But anyway, SF Gate. Anyway, California punk rockers call for an army of Luigi's during brash Coachella set. We want an army of
Sure.
people who are
That's.
going to murder innocent people in the street. Is literally what you're saying when you say you want an
Hmm.
army of Luigi's. I don't have anything pulled up for it, but Luigi was officially indicted by the federal government. And after his state murder case in New York is done, he immediately goes to trial for the federal murder case, and the federal murder case is seeking the death penalty. So,
Mm.
good luck, Pam. I'm rooting for you, baby. I
Well, we'll
still,
see, shall we?
I still would have preferred Matt Gaetz in that role, and like Pam Bondi isn't perfect, but you know, she's having her moments of baseness.
Hmm.
But anyway, shortly after ending a blistering rendition of "Coup d'Etat" during their Coachella set, Circle Jerks frontman Keith Morris made a clarification to the moshing crowd. Although the last song ended with the words "kill all," he made a point to say that the band does not condone what it describes, including kidnapping government leaders for ransom and leading a coup. Quote, that song that last line
Sure, mate.
Quote, that song,
Sure.
that last line ends with kill all. That's a pretty fucking ugly statement, Morris said. In ugly times, do not think we encourage that. Then Morris went in a different direction. What we do encourage, what would be totally fucking happening, would be an army of Luigis. He said in reference to Luigi Mangione, who is currently facing both federal and New York State charges for the alleged killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson late last year. President Donald Trump's administration has asked prosecutors to pursue the death penalty for Mangione. Hey, we totally don't condone murder, but we do want an army of murderers.
Yep.
I hate when they do this. I hate when they play these fucking word games. Like, I don't condone this thing at all. I don't condone it at all. I just wish more people would do it. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's
No,
fucking
it just
bullshit, is
yeah,
what it
just
is.
stand on business. Just admit it. You know,
Hmm.
Circle Jerks, stalwarts of the Southern California hardcore scene, have always imbued politics into their music because punk bands are fucking retarded, and that's the only thing they can think to talk about. Their Sunday evening set was no exception. In addition to his statements about Mangione, Morris called out his sister, who voted for that guy, as he put it, as a nod to Trump. Yeah, so apparently Keith Morris' sister voted for Trump, and he decided to put her on blast in front of a crowd of 10,000 people at Coachella, and
Yeah,
briefly
in front of
recount
a crowd of fucking socialists larping as hippies and druggy degenerates.
exactly. Anyway, he voted for that guy, as he put it, as a nod to Trump, and briefly recounted that he could no longer really visit her using the description "white Christian nationalist." However, despite the harsh rhetoric, Morris paused the set for a moment to check on a fan who appeared in distress, calling for a medic. Oh, isn't that sweet? Some bands who have made blatantly political statements during their Coachella sets this year, such as Irish group Kneecap, have said that their more pointed statements were reportedly cut from the festival livestream. Morris's words about Luigi are still viewable on the Sonora Festival livestream. Yeah, kind of like Notice how there's no great outrage for Circle Jerk. You know, the Circle Jerk frontman calling for an army of cold-blooded murderers. You know, and saying that he can't talk to his sister anymore because she voted for Trump. Meanwhile, and I was just mentioning this at its WrestleMania weekend. Meanwhile, one of the current biggest stars in all of professional wrestling is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns recently revealed, when asked about his political status, he said he's registered Democrat, he considers himself a centrist, and he voted for Trump. And the IWC, the International Wrestling Community, is what they call themselves. The IWC is
IWC.
losing their shit over it. Like,
What?
I'm glad I'm not a part of this. Well, okay, it's kind of split. It's kind of like split. There's a bunch of like the split generally seems to be I don't care about Roman's politics. And the other half is how dare you vote for Trump, you fucking traitor. I hope CM Punk beats your ass this weekend. Okay, guys, first of all, it's fake. I hate to be the guy that says that because I hate it when people say that shit to me when I'm talking about wrestling with my friends. You know, when somebody's like, wrestling's fake, right? I'm just like, yes, I know it's fucking fake. It's like, do you watch Dragon Ball, asshole? Like, do you watch Naruto? Like, that all that shit's fake too, and you still talk about those fights like they're real? Fuck off. But, like, people are genuinely saying, used to like Roman, now I hope CM Punk beats his ass this weekend. Like,
Bro, he's... What? What is wrong with these people? Like, legitimately, what is wrong with these people?
you know why Roman said he voted for Trump? Because he said he
Yeah.
watched the build up to election day, and he said only one of the two sides was actually answering questions and engaging with people.
Which is true.
Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, Kamala, first of all, he probably was honestly, I don't know much about Roman Reigns politically, but I could probably guess the dude was probably a Bernie bro, so he considers himself a principled leftist because that's like the principal lefty, candidate. Even though Bernie's a fucking fraud and not principled at all and a giant piece of shit, and in many ways worse than Kamala or Biden, but still, he probably considered himself a Bernie bro. Watched Bernie get shafted two election cycles in a row, and then kind of like gritted his teeth and voted for Biden. And then Biden fucking in 2020, and then Biden turned around and
ruined the country.
Well, not that, and then the whole thing with the DNC kind of like forced him out and just like forced Kamala Harris.
Biden got shafted. Yep.
Yeah, the DNC forced him out and replaced him with Kamala, which nobody wanted. So he's probably like, and then he watches as the cycle goes on. He probably saw Trump get shot and all these things, and was just like, okay, I gotta vote for this guy. Like Kamala's not doing press, and when she does do press, it's softball questions like the "Who's Your Daddy" podcast and all that stuff, or "Call Me Daddy" podcast. Finding out that like Rogan, I'm sure he listens to Rogan because fucking everybody does, and it's just all like, okay, so Trump sits down with Rogan for 2.5 hours. But then Kamala demands that Rogan fly to her. She won't go to Rogan. She won't go to Rogan. Rogan has to come to her. She'll only give Rogan 45 minutes, and he's only allowed to ask questions that are pre-approved by her team. Whereas according to Rogan, he said him and Trump talked for a while before the podcast started, and then for a while after the podcast ended. So he got to talk to Trump for like almost 4 hours. And then 2.5 of those hours, and like a lot of people thought that Trump's going to give him an hour tops, and it ended up being a 2.5-hour podcast. And he said that the Trump team gave him no pre-requirements. Like, there's nothing off the table. You can ask him anything you want. And then Kamala turns around and is like the exact opposite. So, and that was a bad look for her. I mean, it's two things. If the Pennsylvania thing, if getting shot in the head won the election for Trump, I would say the Rogan thing lost the election for Kamala. Like those two things kind of working in tandem. Because she came out of that whole shit
I can see that.
So bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, bitch,
it's also mostly because of the fact that like she it demonstrated the fact that she can't have any conversation with anyone without you know, without without anyone holding her hand, basically.
Yeah. So if the bullet kind of energized MAGA and got more people to come out and vote, especially got people in the center who weren't sure to go, no, I got to vote for this guy at this point. They're trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's got to be people in the center who are going to go, well, I'm probably going to vote for Kamala. And then they see, like, even after Trump got shot, they're like, I probably still got to vote Democrat because Trump is insane. And
Yep.
then they find out, wait a minute, the bitch won't even sit down and talk to Joe fucking Rogan, who's probably going to softball her for 2 hours anyway. No, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I just abstained.
That's retarded. Yeah. Yep.
And that's the thing that people don't like really talk about is that nobody Kamala lost because, like, yes, Trump gained a shitload of votes. Sure, he got more votes this time than he got last time and all that stuff. But or he got as many votes this time as he got last time. People
No,
just
he got more.
people
Slightly more.
people just didn't want to vote for Kamala. People just didn't turn out for her, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Rogan fiasco lost her the election, as much as
Yeah.
Trump getting shot won it for him. It's like those are the two kind of like flashpoints that confirm that, like, no, Trump's gonna win this. And I think that Roman Reigns saw that and goes, is what I'm talking about. He sees those two things and goes, okay, I know what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said,
No,
and it shows the difference of what I'm talking about is that, like, you are not allowed to step out of the orthodoxy when it comes to the left. If you step out of line even slightly, they will try to crucify you like they're trying to do the Roman Reigns. You can literally call for an army of cold-blooded murderers, and nobody will say a fucking word. But if you, as a lefty, say, gun to my head, if I have to pick between, Kamala and Trump, I'm going to vote for Trump. Now, if you, like, you could always do what I did in, 2012 and abstain because, I wasn't going to vote for I wasn't going to vote for fucking Obama, and, Ron Paul got fucking shafted. He should not have been the nominee, or he should have been the nominee that year, not Mitt Romney. But
Mittens, yeah.
But so I just abstained. You can always do that.
To be fair, though, I don't like. I'm not sure if Ron Paul getting in back then would make things any better now.
I don't know.
Like, the culture wasn't ready.
For a honest to goodness true blue libertarian, I don't know, probably not.
Mm-hmm. And even now, I think we've gotten past the libertarian stage.
Yeah, probably.
If you know what I mean, like it's gotten to the point now where it's like, oh, you're a libertarian, okay, well, you're a cock then, basically.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, yes, like, if you look at, like, the LNC, like, it is so cringe. Like, in the Ron Paul, like, and there's a reason why Ron Paul stayed in the Republican Party. Because the Libertarian Party of America is so fucking cringe and gay. It's so terrible. Like, he would rather.
It's not only that, they're fake and gay, actually.
He would rather be a Republican who identifies as a libertarian than just a libertarian member of the LP, because like, the Libertarian Party, like, when Donald Trump,
the LNP is fake and gay.
Exactly. Well, when fucking Trump shows up,
and I think that's been proven. I think that's been proven, like, with this in this election, in this past election cycle.
Yeah, they lost the Green Party.
Mm-hmm.
They were always the third place party. The LP was the biggest third party in the country. They always came in third place after, the Republican and the Democrat. But this year, at least not always, literally always. I'm sure somebody can find an instance where they came in fourth or fifth in the past. But, like, in my lifetime, it was always. Well, I think Ross Perot was running as an independent. He came in third the year that he ran for president. But when he in the early '90s when he was running against Bush and Clinton. But I think he came in third that year, and then the Libertarian came in fourth. But in my lifetime, at least since I've been paying serious close attention, it's always been Republican, Democrat, and then third place was the Libertarian Party candidate. Gary Johnson came in third place twice. Joe Jorgensen came in third place. And then the gay guy this year, Chase Oliver.
Yeah, Chase Oliver,
comes in fourth behind Jill Stein.
Jill fucking Stein, like an actual fucking ghost at this point. Dude.
Yes, that is how bad the LP has got. Like, you could not have picked Libertarian Party. You could not have picked a worse candidate. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the LP's a joke. They're a joke. But anyway, so China, China is threatening to suspend. Well, they're not threatening to suspend. They have suspended apparently a lot of their rare earth mineral exports in an attempt. This is the trade war heating up. It's like, hey, we're gonna tariff the shit out of you the way you tariff us. So we're going to put tariffs on you that are the equivalent of half of the tariffs you put on us. So then the China's all like, don't you do it. And Trump's all like, I'm going to fucking do it. And then China says, well, we're going to increase the tariffs on American products coming into China. So Trump goes, well, then I'm increasing the tariffs on you. And now China, in response to that,
Have you seen the meme? Have you seen the meme of like do you know where this is going? And it's Trump to and Xi. Where they're like, do you know what? I raise you 102%. Okay, 125. Okay, did I do 125 on you? Okay, 250. Okay, 250 on you as well. And then the next one is like, okay, I raise 1,000% tariffs on you. Okay, the same. Do you know where this is going? No. Do you? No.
no, I haven't seen that yet. No, but the trade war is heating up, and now instead of just raising tariffs on each other, now the Chinese are going to stop exports of rare earth minerals. Now, to be fair, most of these rare earth minerals we do not have to get from China. We can get a lot of them from Africa. We can get a lot of them from Mexico. Some of them we can mine right here in the United States. But according to this New York Post article, some of them can only be mined in China. China has
Such as
stopped.
what?
Well, let me get into it because I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, okay.
Because they have funny, periodic table names that I can never pronounce. A lot of, you know what I mean? Not periodic table, whatever the fuck. Anyway, China has stopped shipping some heavy rare earth metals and magnets critical to U.S. production of everything from cell phones to fighter jets as Beijing's trade war with Washington simmers, leaving American industries in a bind. Effective April 3rd, China is no longer exporting 7 heavy rare earth metals processed exclusively in the Asian power, as well as heavy rare earth magnets, of which about 90% of the world's supply are also synthesized on Beijing's territory. The export halt applies to all countries, but access to elements like dysprosium and yttrium, I believe it'd be yttrium. Anyway, is critical to U.S. industry, especially in the tech, electric vehicle, aircraft, and defense sector, according to Drew Horn, who served as the top U.S. official on strategic minerals and energy supply chain development in President Trump's first administration. Excuse me. Quote: Rare earths are in everything, he told the Post Monday, singling out the EV and auto space and everything from cell phones, defense key components, and space travel. China, Horn added, has essentially created an all-powerful monopoly with them. That's because we allowed it. Instead of
Yeah, the U.S. kind of fumbled it fucking 40 years ago.
yeah, we really did. Well, that's the problem when you let Henry Kissinger kind of dictate your foreign policy for for like 2 straight decades, or longer than that even. Instead of only hiking the price. Instead of only hiking the price U.S. companies have to pay to sell goods inside China via tariffs, Beijing also appears to be using its export capability to move the needle against Washington. Quote, the Chinese have been threatening this because they do have that leverage to basically cut us off and cut the world off, which essentially cuts us off through all sorts of different means. And now they're doing it, said Horn, whose consulting firm Green Met Advisory works to expand the U.S. mining industry. Beijing had previously threatened to stop shipping the rare earth elements during Trump's first administration, with President Xi Jinping making a public visit to a magnet factory in Guangzhou during a time of tense U.S. trade relations in 2019. Nearly a decade earlier, in 2010, China did suspend the export of heavy rare earths to Japan during a territorial dispute. So this is something that they commonly threaten to do or have done in the past. And, I'm also not super worried about it because I It's one of those things where, if you watch, I know you do because you're the one who's always sharing the videos with me. But if you watch, what is it called? China Watch, not China Watch. You know what I'm talking about?
China Observer. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Shout
watch
out to China Observer.
China Observer, they fucking like whenever Trump laid the tariffs down before they even went into effect, like the Chinese market started going haywire. So I think it'd be in this right now. Trump and Xi are kind of having a dick measuring contest, and they'll eventually figure something out. Quote, Beijing's rare earth play is a card they've used before and overplayed, said Craig Singleton, senior China fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. The U.S. response this time is less panic, more resolve. Washington sees these latest moves as further justification to fast-track domestic production and friend-shoring strategies, thereby reducing China's ability to escalate today's tariff fight to other domains like rare earths, where it has leverage. Yeah, as in, anything we do not absolutely need to get from China, we should be getting from somewhere else. So,
Or making them at home.
yeah. Well, again, I don't know how much cobalt we have on American territory, but I know there's a ton of cobalt in Mexico. And Mexico is, come on, you're telling me that we can't work something out where American miners, we set up an American mine, and I'm not saying we hire Mexican miners to mine in Mexico.
I think that's what the plan is, and that's what's going to be the excuse to fucking finally eradicate the cartels. I mean, I hope it would be.
It's like,
Because the same way that the Ukrainian mineral deal is like the defense pact. Because if you have a bunch of Americans there and they get threatened by the Russians,
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And Russia really doesn't want to go to war with the United States. Like, they got, granted, again, and we've talked about this before, Russia has been incredibly restrained, all things considered. They could have just meat grindered Ukraine if they wanted to with sheer numbers, but they chose not to. But also, they lost a lot of battles. They took a lot of heavy losses. The Ukrainians, granted with American weapons and material support, was able to,
and American tactical support as well. Like no one is under the illusion that there's no quote unquote consultants in Ukraine.
Yeah, we have assets on the ground.
The same way that Vietnam was before the full escalation, right?
Yeah, we definitely have assets on the ground there. People, and even if they aren't officially military assets, they're CIA. Whatever. But yeah, we totally have assets on the ground in Ukraine. I suffer no delusions from them. Hell, I even believe, and I'm 100% against this either way, but I 100% believe that we have assets on the ground in Gaza right now. But I suffer no delusions. I guarantee they've got some operators in Gaza. I guarantee it. But I could be wrong, and we shouldn't be there. But that's just the way that the MIC kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
No, bro, we're totally not doing any of these things. But you've done it before. Yeah, but we're not doing it this time. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, we're not supposed to be in Pakistan. Well, then why is it? Why are like terrorist cell leaders dropping dead in Pakistan all of a sudden? Are you telling me that the Iraqi military has special forces operators that can cross into that can get into Pakistan and fucking it's just, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, but no, we need to be getting anything.
Well, I mean, the Ukrainians did have that special special ops in fucking Sudan.
Yeah, now the Ukrainians, they do well. Yeah,
for whatever material reason I will never understand, but.
Well, it's like we covered it. It just seems to be that they were trying to stick it to anything Russia involved, and they knew that Wagner was down there, so they were trying to fuck up Wagner.
Yeah, but it was still retarded.
No, I agree, it was dumb, but it was just it was a waste of resources. Becoming independent of, or at least less reliant on China for rare earths has been a growing interest of Trump since he took office a second time this past January. Excuse me. His recent pursuits of both a mineral deal with Ukraine and a partnership or takeover of resource-rich Greenland has been motivated by an understanding of over-reliance on China for key manufacturing components, insiders have told the Post. Yeah, I am pro taking over Greenland, not by force. J.D. Vance made it clear at his last visit to Greenland that if Greenland was to become U.S. territory, it needs to first vote and ratify independence from Denmark, and then it needs to vote and then ratify becoming U.S. territory. The U.S. military is not going to roll in there, and we're not going to stick a flag in the ice and say it's ours now. Suck it, Denmark. Like, we're not doing that. Like Trump says, I might use the military, but that's just kind of Trump, being ridiculous like he likes to do. But it's 100% clear Greenland wants to become U.S. territory. They have to go through those two steps. You need to vote and ratify for independence from Denmark, and then you need to vote and ratify territory status. And then if you want to become a state, you need to vote and ratify.
It would be fucking funny though.
It would be.
It would be fucking funny.
It's just like Trump's just like, I'm tired of playing these games. I'm taking Greenland, and if Denmark doesn't like it, they can come and stop me. Good luck. Like, the entire reason why you have a national defense is because you're a NATO partner. Like, I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum too, but people really don't understand that one of the reasons why so many of the European countries seem so affluent, seem so fucking affluent, is because they do not pay for their own defense. They put less than 2% of their GDP.
Nah, I don't want Greenland to be a state.
No, I don't want it to be
territory.
A state either.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want it to be a state either. But I'm saying that, like, so many European nations, when they become NATO partners, they field their own military, but it's basically just a skeleton crew. They just go, no, I'm part of NATO. America and Britain will show up to protect me if shit hits the fan. Like, and then they have all this extra money that they can spend on everything else, like their social safety nets. So, like, if we wanted to take Denmark if we wanted to take Greenland from Denmark, we literally could just take it. And there's nothing Denmark could do to stop us. They would have to go crying to the UN, and the UN would have to, like, put some, like, binding resolution on
America.
us. Uh-oh. Did the internet go stupid and kick me out of my own voice chat?
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago. But I was just replying to you every now and again. There was like a 2-minute delay between you saying something and then me saying something and then you acknowledging it.
Well, damn. See, that's why I couldn't stream today, because my internet's being fake and gay. But
It's getting taken over by the feds, puppy. The feds are after you.
Yep, they're because I'm such a huge threat. But anyway, let's just carry on with this article. In a lot of ways,
Yep.
the midstream.
Well, put the stream up, you can't. Fuck, I can't see shit.
Oh, well, I forgot that it fucking went down.
Thank you, sir.
But even if the U.S. got its hands on pure rare earths, experts say it would still need to build facilities to process the elements, which could take years. In a lot of ways, the midstream processing is the most difficult to do. Not necessarily from a technology perspective, but because China owns all of it and controls all of it, Horn said. So even if you dig it up, you have to ship to Chinese refineries exclusively. Still, Horn believes that processing facilities could be up and running before 2026 if action is taken now. Quote, I think there needs to be industry support and buy-in, he said. I'm not an advocate of eternal government subsidies or artificial industries, but what I think needs to be done is there needs to be a variety of incentives, protective measures, tax incentives, funding grants, loan guarantees, etc., to allow some of these new, honestly better, cleaner, more innovative solutions to get up and running in the United States.
I know that that's needed, but I hate it when it's laid out that cleanly in front of me. Where it's basically fucking, it's corporatism again.
Look, we need to subsidize this market if we want to build it in the United States. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Like, I hate it, but it's true. Right? Like,
Horn warned such incentives and safeguards are needed to shield potential American competitors and their customers from Chinese retaliation. quote, if we went to Boeing and said, okay, you need to source exclusively from us or from non-Chinese sources, he said, the retaliatory actions by Beijing would basically be to go through the entire Boeing supply chain throughout their entire ecosystem and basically cut them off. I mean, it's already what they're trying to do. They're trying to do that, but again, I'm fairly optimistic that we'll get a deal done. We'll get something worked out with China that especially if China Observer is to be believed, and the Chinese market is really going absolutely retarded because of the trade war, and allegedly factories are already shutting down, and
Well, you have to take it with a grain of salt because China Observer has been like reporting about China for like past decade,
yeah.
and they have been basically very negative about China. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you have to sort of moderate your expectations. But yeah, I do think that uh, the idea that if America cuts off Chinese business, basically, China has to then find new markets to, number one, not only make up for the deficit that losing U.S. business would do, but then also they take another loss in the sense that, in order to entice these markets to buy or consume to the same level that the U.S. does, because the U.S. is the biggest consumer market in the world, like there's no denying it, right? Uh, and in order to make up for that, um, they need to, like, the only real incentive they could have is to lower prices, and that's not going to help the already bad situation.
No, I agree. It's not like the whole thing sucks. Sorry, I got distracted reading something. Somebody was asking if they took down my Rumble channel because they said that they couldn't see it, but then they deleted the message, so I guess they figured it out.
No, it does. There's no getting around it. Like, it really is just overall a shit situation. But it, no, that's right. But we need it. We need it though. We need it. Like, not just the U.S., but the entire Western world needs this. Like, this needed to happen fucking 40 years ago when it would have hurt less, but because no one in the political system had the balls to do it, we're being forced to face the consequences now. So, you know.
Sorry, everybody. My internet is being really gay. Really, just exceptionally gay. All right, I gotta. Damn it! Come on. Oh wow! Did my internet just go down completely? Yes, it did. All right, just a second. Damn, this sucks. I'm having a real bad go of it today.
Wow, America.
My internet is just being so bad today.
Well, you died again.
Yeah, no, I know I did. And I noticed before, like, my Discord cut out, that there was another like 1 minute delay between me saying something and you responding to it.
Yeah.
But okay, the China story is pretty much over.
Yeah.
China. Good news, obviously, white pills to end, as we like to do.
Texas poised to create its own version of Doge as Bill passes. Oh, that's based.
Yes.
That's fucking
So
beautiful.
Texas has decided they're going to do their own Department of Government Efficiency. The bill would create a new Texas regulatory office which aims to streamline state regulations and eliminate unnecessary rules. Shout out to Fox News. Texas will likely have its own Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Very soon after lawmakers passed a bill to create an efficiency office within the governor's office. The bill, known as Senate Bill 14, and inspired by Elon Musk's Doge, as Larry likes to say, would create a new Texas regulatory office which aims to streamline state regulations and eliminate unnecessary rules. The advisory panel would also be established to work with the governor to help Texas state agencies cut red tape, eliminate unnecessary or burdensome rules, and make regulations more cost-effective and transparent. The panel would be made up of business owners, researchers, state agencies, and the public. There is Elon Senpai right there. Current Texas resident Elon Senpai.
I'm still waiting for my genetically engineered cat girls, Elon Senpai.
Me too, Elon Senpai. Well, let's be real here. I want cat girls. You want centipede girls. And snick girls.
Well, yes.
The centipede girls. Like, I can almost get the snake girls. Like, I can kind of get it. The bug women, though, just... I just know. What is wrong with you?
What can I say? I have a thing for legs. Especially if she's got like 100 of them, technically.
SB 14 has passed both chambers of the Texas legislature and is heading to Governor Greg Abbott's desk to be signed into law. Abbott has not publicly stated whether he will sign the bill. The bill was authored by Weatherford Republican Phil King, while Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said previously that he would help save taxpayers' money and grow the Texas economy by cutting red tape. Quote, I prioritize SB 14 because President Trump's creation of the Department of Government Efficiency inspired me to find ways Texas can save taxpayers and businesses money by cutting burdensome regulations, Patrick said, according to Fox 26. The Texas miracle will continue long into the 21st century because our common sense conservative approach to regulation will keep Texans prosperous and our economy strong. The bill also requires agencies to write rules in plain language, reduce paperwork and fees, and justify new rules with clear cost and benefit analyses. It also gives courts more power to challenge agency interpretations of laws, shifting legal authority away from agencies. Additionally, it requires the development of an interactive website where the public can easily search for agency rules and forms, as well as regulatory information by topic, industry, or North American industry classification systems code. The Elon Musk-led Doge has shaken up federal bureaucracies and uncovered billions of dollars in wasteful spending. Through canceling contracts, workforce reductions, and more, Doge says it has so far saved the taxpayers $155 billion. Based beyond belief. So yeah, good news, Texas. And I really hope that this becomes like a trend across all red states, preferably every state, you know, to develop its own Doge.
Yeah, but it's not like it's gonna happen with fucking the blue states, though.
Well, no, of course not.
Of course they won't. Why would they?
Wouldn't it be base? It would be super base if California flipped red. That would be hilarious after Gavin Newsom. Like, apparently Kamala's planning to run for California governor. It would be fucking hilarious if she, like, lost to a Republican.
Larry Elder.
That would be funny.
Or hell, fucking, Bruce Jenner.
That would be even funnier.
Imagine. That would be even funnier. Then, yeah, like, you could literally claim, like, the diversity points. First transgender governor of any state is a Republican.
But then, of course, like, the fundies would lose their minds about how we're glorifying transgenderism by celebrating Bruce Jenner being... Shut the fuck up.
I literally do not care. It's like, dude, just take the W's where you can.
Yeah, we're trying to...
Okay?
It's like, we're not really glorifying transgenderism so much as we're just trying to show the ridiculousness of the leftist position. That even you people couldn't get a tranny in the governor's chair, but we did just to spite you.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yes. Now, so final white pill to end is something funny.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump turned the
Yes.
the
Yeah.
COVID the COVID he turned the COVID.org or COVID.gov, the COVID-19 website, he turned it into a website about the lab leak theory, confirming that it did. It leaked out of the lab in Wuhan. It's so good, and I love he's front and center, right? Just look at him. This was my idea. I want to be on the front page.
It's like it's that it's that walk as well. Like the horizontally extended Putin walk. It has that same energy.
Yes. But yeah, if you go to
Uh,
covid.gov, it leads you here
mhm.
to lab leak true origins of COVID-19. It redirects you to this, and it's just so good. Um, the origin, the proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 publication, which was used repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was prompted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated naturally. 1. The virus possesses a characteristic that is a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. 2. Data shows all COVID-19 cases stem from a single introduction into humans. This runs contrary to previous pandemics where there were multiple spillover events. 3. Wuhan is the home of China's foremost SARS research lab, which has a history of conducting gain-of-function research, gene altering, and orgasm supercharging, and at inadequate biosafety levels. 4. Wuhan Institute of Virology the Wuhan Institute of Virology researchers were sick with COVID-like symptoms in the fall of 2019, months before COVID-19 was discovered at the wet market. 5. By nearly all measures of science, if there was evidence of a natural origin, it would have already surfaced, but it hasn't.
Mm.
Yep, this is a map of Wuhan. Here's the wet market, and here is the WIV. Only 8 miles
Yeah,
apart.
7.5 miles. Yeah.
And of course, if you come to this website, you can download the House Oversight Report. Anyway, I already read this part, the proximal origin thing. Gain-of-function research. A lab-related incident involving gain-of-function research is most likely the origin of COVID-19. Current government mechanisms for overseeing this dangerous gain-of-function research are incomplete, severely convoluted, and lack global applicability. EcoHealth, under the leadership of Dr. Peter Daszak, used U.S. taxpayer dollars to facilitate dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. After the select subcommittee released evidence of EcoHealth violating terms of its NIH grant, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services commenced official debarment proceedings and suspended all funding to EcoHealth. New evidence also shows that the Department of Justice has opened an investigation into EcoHealth's pandemic-era activities. NIH's procedure for funding and overseeing potentially dangerous research are deficient, unreliable, and pose a serious threat to both public health and national security. Further, NIH fostered an environment that promoted evading federal record keeping laws, as seen through the
Hmm?
actions of Dr. David Morin's and FOIA lady Marge Moore. And then, of course, here's an image of Fauci's pardon. A full and unconditional pardon for any offenses against the United States which he may have committed or taken part in from January 1st, 2014. A full decade's worth of pardon, all in one pardon. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff, and my internet is still being stupid. Oh my god, this is kind of embarrassing, but the show must go on. Just as soon as internet went down again. What is going on? I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, pretty hysterical stuff. But yeah, no, I encourage everybody.
Wow, America.
I'm back.
Hello.
Internet is still gay. But anyway, it just, I pretty much read everything on the website page I wanted to read. But seriously, go to covid.gov. Everything is here. The, PDF files, everything you want to read on the subject, it's all available. This is just genuinely hilarious stuff. Trump did a good thing there. He did a troll, and it was a good troll. But it also, gives valuable information. So he simultaneously trolled the COVID cucks while also, giving everything to kind of confirm no, lab leak theory was legitimate. Like this was not a naturally occurring virus. This was unleashed upon us by China. China. Why do you keep calling it the China virus, Mr. President? Because it came from China.
Because it came from China.
China. China. Just that's one of my favorite Trump moments. Because it came from China. I love how he says it. Just put so much emphasis on the two syllables. China. No, good stuff. Good stuff. Hopefully next week my internet won't be as gay.
As gay, yeah.
Because my internet was super gay today. But yeah, it was is a good week. There was stories we didn't cover, like the Blue Origin flight.
Yeah, because who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit? They didn't even go into space. I mean, they went into 0G, but they didn't really go into space.
It's like right at the border of where space is.
Yeah. They went up to the point of 0G so that, Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' girlfriend could float around and, oh, look, we're floating in 0G. Ah. Like, it was a completely retarded publicity stunt. All female crew of astronauts. You guys weren't the crew. You're passengers. Yeah, no, it was pretty lame. It's pretty lame. Katy Perry though would, by the way, just putting that out there. Yes, no, maybe. Like what's Katy Perry?
No, I don't know. I don't know about Katy Perry now. Katy Perry like 4 years ago, maybe, or I don't know. It's just she's become fucking toxic. In my opinion.
Yeah, sure, but toxic women have good pussy, so.
I don't know. Sure.
All right. Well, anyway, let's probably go ahead and call it. But yeah, no, the world is fake and gay.